Hi everybody, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. I really appreciate you joining me. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Vanessa and I've been at CrowdComms for over 5 years now. I'm the Client Relationships Manager here, and although I work for a technology company, I'm also a self-confessed non-techie. What I really love is bridging the gap between people like me and technology. I'm really focused on what it can do rather than how it does it. And I love seeing the positive impact that the app has on my clients, as well, like the speakers and the sponsors. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to run through the presentation and then we'll have time for some questions at the end. There's actually a chat feature on the GoToWebinar. So if you've got questions at the end, you can feel free to pop them in there and I'll run through as many as we have time for. Many marketers will agree that there are 3 core components to their marketing efforts: what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. As an event professional, you know that every event is slightly different. So just take the program, for example. There may be breakout sessions, workshops, and Q&A panels for you to consider. The key to your success is all about listening to all the individual stakeholders, the attendees, speakers, sponsors, and of course your management team. By understanding what they value, you can better craft your messaging and delivery. And that's exactly what we want to focus on today, the value that you can bring to all your different stakeholders. With the massive adoption of event apps at professional meetings and conferences, it's important to make it simple for attendees to find the information that they're looking for. So what are you going to learn today? Well, here are the topics I'm going to be covering. Firstly, how to create messaging that encourages your attendees to download your app. Before writing this messaging, you'll need to understand the value that each of your stakeholders are looking for. And we'll talk about using research and surveys that will help you to get to know your audience before an event. You'll also learn how to build a promotional timeline and hints and tips to increase the event app adoption whilst on site. For a successful strategy, we not only need our messaging, but we also need to select the appropriate media channel to deliver that message and increase the adoption rates. As a successful event planner, you're also aware of the fact that you can't do it all on your own, and the promotion of the app can be supported by others. And so I want to take some time to talk about that too. Firstly, getting to know your audience. The following 2 slides will highlight about how you can find out what your stakeholders want. Let's look at the listening strategy. Different social media channels are used for different reasons and by different people. And it's your job to find out where your stakeholders are, meaning which social media channels they use. Often, Twitter is used for service-related issues your stakeholders might voice. Facebook, on the other hand, can be used as a content channel. Pinterest is most likely to be viewed by shopping enthusiasts, whereas LinkedIn offers different options for content delivery with a more business networking focus. In order to create a listening strategy, you could follow the following 4 steps. Your first step would be to create a list of various social media channels that your stakeholders are frequently using. In all channels, you want to track the mentions, such as the hashtags on Twitter, for example. And Hootsuite is a great tool to combine the multiple social media channels. After tracking your mentions, you want to listen to what the stakeholders have to say, both positive and negative. And most important of all, you need to listen out for opportunities. Once you've listened to your customers and prepared the responses, reply to any feedback that's come through. This pertains to the positive as well as any negative feedback. Most professionals have some sort of online presence, but there are certain demographics that simply don't use social media. For these groups, you might have to rely on more hands-on, active tools to start the conversation. You could use pre-event surveys to ask questions about your attendees' day-to-day experiences. And don't hesitate to call prospective attendees either. Your fact-finding mission will show them how much time and energy you're putting into developing relevant content, and they will definitely appreciate this effort. Here's a very important point though. Instead of simply asking, what do you want to learn? Perhaps try asking, what was your biggest challenge this year? By asking what an attendee wants to learn, you might limit their thinking to propose only the solutions that they're familiar with. Your research and surveying should aim to identify the pain points of your attendees' professional lives. Finding this information, highlighting trends, and involving content leaders in the conversation will help you start creating value based on your attendees' greatest needs. Okay, now that we know what our audience wants, we can craft the appropriate message. Based on your findings from research and pre-event surveys, you can begin to craft your messages, framing your event app as the solution, or at the very least, a tool that will help solve a problem for your attendees. Similar to asking the right questions, it's very important to create the right message. So instead of leading your message with "download the app because," start with the value your attendees will find in the app. So get this, this and this, all in the event app. And we'll come on to talk about what content we can put into those. Instead of pushing them to the app, your first value messaging will draw them in a way that they'll never be able to resist. People by nature always want to know what's in it for me. That's why we just spent some time on the listening strategy as well as questions you can ask in your pre-event survey. The information you'll be able to gather from that research will give you the value that your attendees are looking for. So let's have a look at some examples of messages that you could leverage. Okay, so let's say you listened to different social media channels and your research resulted in 2 findings. The first one, attendees did enjoy the coffee break for networking, but they found themselves talking to the same people over and over again. And the speakers were entertaining, but the content was too basic. According to the first finding, your attendees do see value in networking, which is not surprising, of course. Your next step could be to think about how you can address this value using your event app. The solution would be to leverage the built-in networking capabilities, including custom attendee profiles and also the in-app messaging. Based on that, your promotion line could be something along the lines of, see who else is here, use the app to make new connections, start conversations and coordinate meetings. Download the app here. According to the second finding, your attendees see value in more advanced content. The solution using your event app would be the in-app live polling. Your promotion line could be, participate in sessions and share your ideas with your peers using the live polls available within the event app. Download it here. It's always important to express the benefits of the conference app to your attendees and educate them on how easy it is to use. There are lots of benefits. I'm just going to run through a couple of them. Live polling, for example, which isn't on the slide, but I think it's vital. Live polls, you might say to them, don't just attend the event, get involved in all the action. Let your voice be heard by participating in live polling. Ask the speaker a question and get your inquiry upvoted by your peers, also interested in the same topic. Interactive maps. No one wants to look like a tourist at an event. Put away the paper map and find exactly what you're looking for in seconds with interactive mapping and floor plans. And attendee networking. Never miss an opportunity to connect with other attendees, view other delegates through their individual profiles and start networking through the in-app chat well before the event begins. When considering how you're going to promote your app, it's also important to keep in mind whether you'll be promoting the web version, the native version, or both. What differs between the two is where you're directing your attendees and what steps are involved for them to be able to successfully download the app. So let's look at each one. The web-based app. One benefit of the web app is that it's really easy, it's ready to launch the moment that you are. Directing your attendees to the web app is so easy, it's simply providing them with the URL. Attendees can view the app from any browser on their smartphone, tablet, or laptop. As a best practice, when you're sending out emails or posting on social media, always includes the app URL. The hyperlink gives really easy access. And if you've only got a web version, then this is obviously the URL you want to be pointing your attendees to. With a native app is an app that's been developed for a specific device or platform, such as iOS with iPhones and iPads, Android, BlackBerry, or Windows. The advantage of a native app is that it can interact with the smartphone's functions such as push notifications, GPS, Bluetooth, and camera. When getting ready to launch and promote your native app, there are a few considerations that you need to keep in mind. You'll want to factor in that there are 3 weeks of processing time for approval by each of the app stores. The time and approval processes do vary, but generally you'll be looking at around 3 weeks to get the apps approved. Once they are approved and are in the app stores, then the attendees can download it. As a best practice, when your app is approved, try searching for the app name yourself and ensure that you can easily find it. If you can, then your attendees will be able to as well. Ensure that you use the app name in all of your printed promotional materials. And when you're promoting the app digitally, it's an even better approach is to provide hyperlinks to the app in the app stores. When the link is clicked, it will automatically launch the app store on the user's device and they can move forward with download. One of the most effective launch strategies combines utilizing both web and native apps. This allows you to launch your app pre-event, use it prior to it being approved in the app stores, and have your attendees experience the benefits of the native app whilst they're on site. Consider putting the app URL in the pre-event email to your attendees promoting it. Since the web app can be opened on a variety of devices, including laptops, regardless of how they open the email, with one click they will be able to view your app content. Closer to the event, announce that the app is now available in the app stores and provide direct links to the stores and information on what to search on to find it. If a user already has the web version and is accessing it on a mobile device, they'll get a banner on their app telling them that they can download the app via the App Store. By encouraging your attendees to use the native version on site, they'll also get the benefit of push notifications so that they can stay informed on what's happening at the event. Now that we know how to craft the message and create a value proposition, you're probably wondering about the timelines to promote the event app. Timelines are always going to vary depending on the nature of the meeting. For example, an annual conference with 10,000 attendees may require at least a month of pre-event marketing. While if you're doing a closed-door leadership summit, you may just really want to launch the app on the day as the attendees arrive. But your app provider should be happy to give you advice on what pre-event timeline will work best for your event. To give you more hands-on tools, we're going to take a look at some ideas around creating demand for your app. Okay, here are some suggestions on how we would increase app usage. Definitely advertise the app in a know before you go email. Your guests can learn how this app will enhance their event experience, and this is an important phase to communicate the benefits of using the mobile event app. Encourage your attendees to stay tuned for details as you gradually reveal more information through the app. The key to success is to create a demand for the app by emphasizing exclusive opportunities only available using it. Another important aspect of this phase is to emphasize how easy and simple it is for attendees to get the app. Encourage your attendees to download it in order to access exclusive information. For example, discounts, perhaps express registration, or important event details that you're only going to reveal via the app. Perhaps you've got mystery guests, make it fun. You can advertise mystery guests and have attendees find out who they are, again, only via the app. You could have the host of your event direct attendees to the app on the mobile devices and brief them on how to use it to get the most out of their event. Or perhaps leave a personalised voicemail welcome message in your attendees' hotel rooms and mention the app and how to download it. You can make this even more unique by inviting your keynote speaker to record that message for you. To finish this part, I want to share some tips and tricks that some of our customers are using to draw more attention to their CrowdComms app. By crafting your message based on the stakeholder you're speaking to an attendee, for example, the delegate list is an amazing opportunity to network and also to meet industry innovators. To an exhibitor, it's a list of potential new clients. So do remember who you're talking to each time you communicate the benefits of certain features of the app. Many exhibitors will have great giveaways that they want the attendees to know about. A great way to create some buzz and hype is by mapping out where all the great giveaways are around the exhibition. And of course, this information is only available on the app. You'll then be able to see how the attendees will start to chat and share the event app. The exhibitors can get involved too, promoting their booths and driving traffic through the show floor. A powerful strategy is to start reducing print guides by excluding important information from them. For example, you could include speaker bios and session descriptions, but logistical topics are subject to change, like room numbers and times, and these could only be found in the event app. Creating demand doesn't have to just be about special offers. If you offer an event app that works on all devices, you can be a bit more persuasive in pulling your attendees away from paper and onto their mobiles, and of course you can reap the benefits of the cost savings of not having to do all of that printing. Okay, so now let's take a look at the media channels that we have available. Let's start by looking at the website. Attendees may come to your website just to look for updates on new speaker announcements or see who else is going to the meeting. But you can use that opportunity to surprise and delight the attendees. Messages like "Start networking with other attendees today, download the events app here," or "New speakers added, read more about our event app." Remember, you want to go back to your research and write messages that are valuable to your clients and ensure that you're hitting the sweet spots. For those who are actively looking for your conference app, you want to make it easy by clearly stating where and how to download it. A website badge or a small banner ad can be placed in multiple locations throughout the website for that purpose. Websites in general are a great place to promote your event app. Ideally, you want to have an area that highlights the app and share a link to download the app. Might be towards the top of the homepage on your website. It really depends on how the site is set up. It could be one link for the web-based app or multiple if you want to link the different app stores where it's available. What will drive traffic through is the promotion line, the value that you deliver, and the urgency you create for your attendees to download. This example here, the MPI Minnesota chapter, doing an excellent promotion on their website. They list the different stores you can download the app from and offer a link to see how you can use the app. Let's have a look at, let's talk about emailing, which is probably one of the fastest and easiest ways to reach everyone attending your meeting. To really take advantage, it's essential to optimize your messages with benefits and a strong call to action. There are really three elements you want to take into consideration when it comes to email: segmentation, content, and your email signature. We already learned that when we want to communicate the right value to the right people, so if you have the ability to segment your audience into different groups, you can send out targeted messages that speak directly to their needs. Now let's take a look at the content of your emails. I have an example here. I'll probably just give you a couple of seconds just to read through that. If you look at the email example, we can discover a few core points that could be applied to any kind of email communication. Always be concise and communicate the benefit of taking action. In this case, the networking is highlighted. Focus on one action, which is to download the app. If you use the web version, you'll only have one link. If you have the native app, obviously you can promote the different app stores to drive the downloads. Putting a download the app paragraph in your extensive know before you go email is always going to be a long shot. Each email should have a single call to action and a reason for doing so. It's better to understand your segments, see what they value, and then don't be afraid to send more focused and benefit-driven emails. As long as you're providing value, your emails won't be seen as being intrusive. CrowdComms can offer you an HTML email template that you can leverage to promote your own app. You can find this template alongside other promotional materials in the promotion module that's contained within the content management system. Feel free, obviously, to make adjustments, of course, but hopefully it would give you a great starting point. Focus on the benefits and the value, which might change depending on your target audience. And we only promote one action, which of course is downloading the app. The last element to remember when it comes to email is the email signature. You want to include a link to the event app on all staff signatures. This ensures that your meeting app is automatically promoted when staff are corresponding with your attendees or other stakeholders. You want to leverage the promotion line also that you came up with when you were thinking about your value proposition. When promoting your event app over different social media channels, there are a few things to be aware of. Announcing your message through every medium at your disposal can actually do more harm than good. You want to ensure that you only promote on the channels in which you are already involved. And the nature of social media is conversational, and so your social network definitely will not appreciate spam. You want to generate goodwill and excitement for your event app by focusing on benefiting your attendees with each message. Additionally, be aware of the differences in the social media channels that you participate in. For example, LinkedIn is more formal and so lends itself well to a professional discussion about how your event app can provide new networking opportunities and an easier way to download session documents. A discussion on Twitter could play out much differently, focusing on updates and quick snippets of information about your event. You need to be selective and targeted because you can expect your attendees to respond. Here are a couple of examples from Facebook and Twitter of how you can promote your app through social media and drive adoption at your next event. You really want to leverage the promotion lines that you came up with that will show your attendees the value of downloading and using the app. And one of the most effective ways to promote your app is certainly on your own blog or any community portals that you're active on. Your audience already knows about these channels. You've spent time and resources to develop great relationships here, and so you really can leverage these channels to ensure your app is being downloaded before and during the event. One client called Imagine leveraged their internal blog and asked Lee Friedman, who's their account manager, to write a short guest blog post about the event app. Another great example of how you could promote yours, and if we can help you in any way, just please ask if you'd like something similar. There are lots of different channels you can leverage to promote your app, and I want to share some additional tips with you before moving on. Unlike other media, video speaks to multiple senses, captivating your audience like no other medium can. In order to help realise the potential of your event app and your event, you could create a short video that highlights the benefits of the meeting app. Keep in mind, though, that even the shortest videos can cost over $1,000. And if that's not in your budget, CrowdComms include a custom event app promotion video as part of the service for most of our event app packages. You select the key features and our team will create your video featuring images of your app, your brand, and a brief tutorial on how to download the app on a variety of different devices. Your promotion video should clearly answer one key question: how will the app add value to the attendee's experience? Rather than getting caught up in the various features of your event app, you want to focus on demonstrating concrete ways your attendees can use it to enhance their event experience. On top of embedding your video in your emails, you can place it prominently on your event website and share it across social media for improved engagement. You can even play your video on large screens during the event to encourage downloads. Every event app created with CrowdComms also comes with pre-created website badges, so there's no coding necessary. You can just copy and paste the code onto your website and you're well on your way to improving your event app adoption rates. With the majority of events now using an event app, attendees expect a mobile meeting app. If you're not launching an app, you also need to make sure that that's clear on your website as well. CrowdComms can also offer you some promotional banners that you can access from your content management system. You can have them printed yourself, but we'll have done the design work for you. You can leverage these banners at your registration desk or in high traffic areas throughout the event. Another great way to promote the app is to engage others, such as your speakers and staff, and encourage peer-to-peer sharing. So let's have a quick look at this. Speakers, they're a great resource at your disposal. They're known as industry experts, which means that they automatically lend credibility to what they have to say. Additionally, they tend to have very strong and dedicated networks that they have accumulated throughout their careers. And so how could you engage them to promote your event app? You could ask your speakers if they would be willing to make a guest blog post on your site, or write a post that plugs your event app on their own blog. This is a win-win proposition, as the speakers can expect a wider audience, demonstrate their expertise, and generate interest before the event has even begun. Or pre-write tweets and social media posts that include the app and the event hashtag. Like most marketing efforts, word of mouth is very effective. This is why it's crucial to train your on-site staff on how to use and how to talk about the event app with the attendees. It's important for everyone to be up to speed on your app and everything it can do. It's almost like you're selling the benefits to your they're selling the same benefits to your staff as you're selling to your attendees. You're ensuring that they buy in and you're empowering them to share it with your attendees. As your attendee support team, your staff will inevitably be asked how to install the app on different devices, along with other related topics like Wi-Fi. You need to make sure that your staff are ready and motivated and excited to help. CrowdComms are also providing additional on-site support to more and more of our clients every month. Having one of our specialists on site to boost your support team, they can act as the app concierge for all of your stakeholders. Then we've got peer-to-peer. You want to provide value for your attendees to the point where they want to share the event app with their peers to make it easy for them to share. Unlike other event apps, CrowdComms provides a unique URL for every single page throughout the app, making it simple for attendees to post and share very specific parts of the event app. That link acts as a bridge for other attendees to adopt the app. CrowdComms engineers have made this even easier by including a tweet about this session button. In one click, your attendees can tell everyone the session they're currently in or what's coming up. Instead of simply telling others to download the conference app, your attendees are showing and sharing their value of the app, and they're generating interest, which will definitely increase the adoption rates. I'd like to share some additional tips and tricks around promoting your app by leveraging others. Show your speakers why your app is such a useful resource and how attendees are going to benefit from using it. If your speaker has a book they'd like to promote, you can use that fact and have them add it to their session description, to their profile within the app. Giving them an incentive to promote their event app will get them excited. That energy will then flow through to your attendees too. With the staff, don't simply hand over a script for them to read. Go back and find out what your team wanted to achieve by having the app in the first place. Was upper management concerned about networking? Is someone on your team really focused on feedback strategies? The chances are you can sell your event app to fellow staff. The chances are that you can sell your event app to fellow staff similar to how you sell it to the attendees. A bit of research and you'll know how to excite different staff members in different groups. Reward your attendees when they share the event app with others. On Twitter, for example, it's all about extending one's network. If you take a moment to thank someone publicly and mention their Twitter handle, others will also see the benefit in having their voice heard amongst their peers. Recognition of your attendees helping spread the word is as easy as clicking retweet. Instead of using your own Twitter handle to communicate the event app, you're also putting your attendees first, helping spread the word about your app, but also exposing them to their peer group. Just because the event is over doesn't mean the activity on the app has to end. The benefit of going mobile with your event is that your attendees can continue to build connections with other guests, interact with the content, and participate in the event community even after the event is over. Since the Content Manager can be used for up to 30 days after the event takes place, you can continue to post relevant information for your attendees. You could potentially provide discounts for registration for the next event, or they could upload photos of the event for attendees to share their experience with their co-workers. Encourage your attendees to continue their networking through the event app via the in-app chat and the attendee profiles. Even though the management system closes after 30 days after your event, your attendees will still have access to the event for a full year. It brings us to the end of the webinar. I want to take this opportunity to just summarise what we've talked about today, what I've talked about today. I've talked about the social media listening strategy, as well as pre-event surveys to learn more about what your attendees value. You should have a list of social media channels that you want to listen to. And then we moved on to crafting the right message based on the values your attendees expect, and you should have some feature benefits written that you can leverage for your next event to increase the event app adoption. Finally, we talked about the timeline to promote your event app, as well as all the tips and tricks that our customers use to promote the apps at their events. And I'm hoping that this has given you some great ideas for your next event. The next steps are that you'll receive an email from us with a recording of today's session, just in case you want to listen to it again. If you need anything from us in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or our support team, who will be very, very happy to hear from you and very, very happy to help.